Well, hello everybody, there we are again. I'm trying to give you an update about the building of my small-time diorama that I'm building to try out some things and also for photography purposes. As you can see, it's the same diorama I made last time. I've done something with the Grassmaster this time, and as you can see, it's placed on the bigger layout that I'm currently building, which isn't finished anyway, but you will see updates in later videos. This is a diorama. I've placed a train on it so you can see what it is. What I did is I've ballasted the track, I've painted the track, I've made a path alongside the track, I've done some static grass work, and I've made some vegetation. As you can see, I've left a blank space where I will place some track, make a path, ballast the track, make some grass, make some bushes. So let's go to work. When extending this piece of track, I found out that there's differences between my old track and my new track. To the right, I've used Mindglice Code 83. It's a German brand, and you see that the ties and the tie plates are much more detailed than the Pico ones on the left. The track is actually exactly the same, it's Code 83, so that's alright, but I thought it would be interesting to show you this. I've chosen this track because it is the smallest track I can drive safely on, because I used to have problems with some of my older locomotives in tight curves. They seem to roll over the tie plates, and I can see that this would be less of a problem with the Pico ones on the left, because the detailing is much less high and therefore the wheels have more freedom, let's say. Well, first job of course is to glue the ties to the track bed, which I will do using Liquitex Matte Medium. Smear it under the rails, under the ties. This glue is quite strong, but actually, well, it doesn't have to hold up an elephant. But it's always nice when it's fixed good and decent. In the end, of course, the ballasting will also add to the gluing process to the track bed. Let's see if I can get it straightened out. Yeah, so that's nice and straight, I think. So that'll be all right. Let's place some weight over it and leave that to dry. Well then, some thoughts about what it should look like. I'm modeling Württemberg in 1910 or so, and I have some books about that subject. The interesting thing that I see is that the color of the ballast is quite light, as you can see in this picture. You can also see this on different pictures. Railways were very new then, so the ballasting was probably quite new. So the track bed is quite, well, it's very light now. I will have to weather it a bit. I will do that, maybe a sort of grey wash or so. But, well, the ballast should be quite light according to the example, which is interesting, I think. Then about the rail profile, you see here that the used profile in those days was quite low. And I've read somewhere that the average rail height in this period was 140 millimeters, which is quite low, and which would be about a code 72 rail, I suppose, which was actually too low for me because I'm not quite sure if that is safe. So I compromised on using code 83 because I'm quite sure all my locomotives can pass that in a safe manner. So yeah, that's about rail. So I've just airbrushed this section of track and I'm now going to paint the ties. Yeah, so there we go. And just let it run over the ties. Don't be afraid that it gets too light because it will dry. And become less light than it looks. You see that here, it pulls away. So not all the ties have the same colors. Just go for the weathered old look. I put in some green, bit of moss and algae. Some brown, and just mix it. Do it with a dirty brush. Just mix it and make it so that you're happy about it. Just go as you feel, as you please. Hey, it's my railroad, yeah? I can smear any color on it I want. Let's see, do I have some black here? No. Black, black, black. Where's my black? Here's my black. And you can do this over and over again, and every time you go over it again, it's wet and wet, so it mixes on the tie and it enriches the color. Every time you go over it, the color gets richer and richer. And what I thought was, this is the end of the line. This is a dead-end track. So I'll make a sort of bumper here as well, I suppose. I think. But when this is a track where trains stop all the time, maybe it is a good idea to have some black that represents dripping oil from the engines. So this would be maybe in the middle of the track a bit. So there you go. Got a little oil and coal stains here. So I told you I would weather this a bit. I'm still going for the lighter look, but this is, well, a bit too light for me. So I thought I'd move a pin wash over it. I make this by using, what is this? Van Dyke Brown oil paint. I thin it with odorless turpentine. Oh, there we go. And we'll see what happens. So I'm applying it over the ballasting and over the rails. And you see that it gets a little bit of a weathered effect. And also it brings out some details in the tie plates and the ties. So this is a very effective way of highlighting details. So there you've got the final result. You see that the ties are weathered, the track is weathered, even the ballast is weathered. So that's all for this week. Thanks for watching and see you again next time.